the section quarterfinals between the Crimson and our Spring Lake Park Panthers. I'm Blake Whaley alongside Bill Hupp, and tonight the playoffs get started for these guys, and you can tell that the playoff atmosphere is here in this gym.
Yeah, it should be a really fun game between these two teams. They know each other well from conference play. Spring Lake Park beat Maple Grove in this gym a couple weeks ago by 18 points. So even though the Panthers come in as the 6th seed in the section, they very much feel like they're the ones to beat here tonight against the 3rd seeded Crimson.
Yeah, as these guys get started, I think for both of these teams, they have some seniors, those guys that really don't want their season to end and their career here for both of their teams to end. And as these guys look to get going today, they're really going to have to hone in on what does that early couple minutes mean to them, who's going to get off to the races and get going.
Well, I think it's incumbent on Spring Lake Park to use their size advantage. They have a 2 to 3 inch advantage in size at just about every position on the court tonight. And so if they can use that size advantage, they should be able to assert themselves, and they're going to be tough to stop. Now, in talking to the Maple Grove head coach, Nick Schroeder, before the game, he talked about the fact that they needed to be better on the boards. And Spring Lake Park destroyed them off on the boards the other last time they met, and so Maple Grove wants to do better when it comes to that, because they know that if they do that, they'll be able to stay in this game.
Yeah, and something interesting too, Grant Guzzi, the coach of the Panthers, it's in his last season. He's done so many great things for his program over the years, and these guys wanted him to go out on that highlight season. And what does that mean to get them as far as they can here in the playoffs?
Yeah, obviously want to make sure that Grant Guzzi goes out with as many wins as he can. He's got 421 career victories right now, and ultimately they'd love to get him 422 and 423. Obviously the top seed in this section is Park Center, but they feel like they have a chance tonight against the Crimson, and then whoever wins this game will move on to play the winner of Roseville and Osseo, very likely the Orioles, in the section semis. But it should be a good one before a pretty good crowd on hand here tonight in Maple Grove.
Yeah, it's always nice when playoffs come around. It doesn't matter throughout the season if you've had the fans. Typically people are coming out just to see their teams in their last stretch of the season as they try to push for that state tournament. But getting ready in the middle of the court, both teams ready for that tip-off. And I think one of the biggest things here is really, like I said earlier, going to be who is going to get started. Lincoln Kalbicki for the Crimson, getting ready to take on the tip versus Logan Kinsey for our Panthers. The tip is up. Panthers get it right away. Ogile with the ball. Panthers look to swing this one around. Again, get a feel for this game. Peyton Thompson gives it back to Ogile. Panthers not forcing anything in the early seconds. Looking to work this one around. The horn, get that open shot. Ogile in the corner. Again, I don't see any urgency to try to shoot this basketball by the Panthers.
No.
The game plan is work this one around, find that spacing and that quality shot.
No, not with a shot clock. With no shot clock, they can be very patient and try to get it to their scores.
Top of the key three, no good for Testy. But that rebound follow-up by Ogile is Ogile with the first bucket for the Panthers.
Nick Ogile, a hustle player, a good athlete, and he showed it right there.
That's what you need to do in these early seconds, get points on the board, but now you really got to keep points off the board when you're on defense. How can you make sure that you play a quality defensive set? The Panthers will look to do so. Crimson working it around. Popping the three is Hawkinson. No good, but they keep possession. That second chance points are going to be big for them here tonight too. Those second chance opportunities as they keep this basketball, keeping the Panthers on defense here as they continue to work this one around. Inside the lane, stops up, passed it back. But Ogile, a defensive stop. He gets the steal, helping the Panthers get the ball back.
Great physical play from Ogile in the early going, and again, that size and athleticism advantage showing for the Panthers.
Finding Kinsey inside to roll this one off the rim and in. Kinsey, just a quality and a solid player for the Panthers, and you see it in that play there.
Coming off 33 against Champlin Park in Grant Guzzi's last home game, so he can light it up from the field when he wants to. And Palbicki stepped on the end line there, so it turns back over to the Panthers. 2 trips for Maple Grove and 2 turnovers.
Yeah, you saw Maple Grove still getting prepared for that rebound, trying to have the second chance opportunity. Of course, that possession doesn't work out for them. Back to the Panthers it goes, and those are the ones, though, I mean, the Panthers got lucky that they stepped out of bounds, that they got the ball back, because ultimately they didn't get in position to get that rebound.
Palbicki's a big kid at 6'10", so he'll be a load to guard inside.
Peyton Thompson driving, stopped up, plays it back. 3 popped in, swooshing in. This is Bo Johnson making it rain. That's what you need to do. Again, how can you find those open chances, put them up, and see if you are hitting here tonight.
And that's actually Steve Kesty who hit the 3. His return has been really big for Spring Lake Park as he's come back from injury or hurt himself a game and a half into the season, and it's been nice to see him back as he's willing to shoot the 3. Nice take from Will Kinsey right there. Wow.
Yeah, off the glass and in. Just strong play going up against that defender who was right there, but still making it fall in.
What a start from the Panthers. 9-2 already.
They came ready to play. And that's exactly the mindset and mentality you need in a playoff run. Popping it from range, getting it to fall. Hackinson.
Yeah, that's what Maple Grove is going to have to do, Blythe, to stay in this game, is hit from 3. Hawkinson's got all 5 of their points to start.
Yeah, you saw how far out he was. He wasn't concerned about the distance behind the three-point arc. He didn't need to toe the line. He was ready to pop it since he was open. Thompson works it around, gives it to Kinsey. Patient. Back over to Kesty to Thompson. Again, that's what I think I've admired most about the Panthers, how patient they've been. Sometimes playoffs can get you excited, get you working and playing faster than you really need to. Off the iron for Ogile, but Kinsey's there to get the rebound to keep this offensive set going. Popped up and off the mark, back to the Crimson it goes.
Good aggressive play by Maple Grove to attack. They had him in transition, and that's Hawkinson again, who will go to the free throw line for 2. He's not by any means the biggest kid, but he knows how to play the game, and certainly he certainly knew that he had Kesty backpedaling in transition. But Bo Johnson will play a big part in tonight's game, trying to keep Palbicki in check.
Yeah, you see that one fall through the Crimson, making them on the free throw line, and that's going to be an important factor here today, too. This one seems like it will be a close one throughout, and definitely when you can pick up those points from the free throw line, that's going to only help you in those late minutes of this game.
Derek Jamison Jr., the all-star running back for Maple Grove, who led the Crimson to the state title in football, into the game now off the bench in basketball.
Thompson gives it over to Ogile. Driving, gives it up to Kinsey. And the patience continues in these offensive sets. Looking to get inside. See Kinsey working definitely hard inside that lane. The defense is there by the Crimson, and again, they're feeling excited about just how long they've kept the Panthers from being able to put a shot up and get an open look.
Yeah, they pride themselves on their defensive effort, and right there, good job by Peyton Thompson to force the issue and force the foul, so he'll go and shoot 2.
Yeah, sometimes if you don't have that open look that you were wanting, you really just do have to drive, take it to him, stay strong, because you'll probably get the foul. It just means that the defense is so close. And you saw it there, just like you said, Bill.
Raul Vaida picks up his first, but yeah, sometimes when you're getting pressed that high out near the perimeter, the best thing to do is to drive it. because they're overplaying you on the pass.
Yeah, and sometimes it can mean that they're standing up too much too, and so you can just get by them quicker because they're off balance. They're not ready to slide on D.
Yeah, they're too up and down.
Free throws going in for Thompson, helping the Panthers push ahead. 3-point lead now they have.
So now Spring Lake Park picking up full court with a little full court trap, trying to take advantage and speed the Crimson up.
I like that change up though by Guzzi, putting that on them, switching things up, and the Crimson having to adjust on the fly.
Yeah, I mean the Crimson have to feel confident based on what happened, a couple weeks ago. But then again, Maple Grove has a tremendous win over Shakopee, second team in the state in this gym. So they're also playing with a lot of confidence.
So saw Kinsey trying to toe the line to keep possession for the Panthers. Really had to walk the tightrope to keep possession, and now Ojale looking to get that ball in. And Kinsey, great job inside the lane. I think that was one of the biggest things as a post. It's like they got the ball into him, and they knew to push the ball into him, even if he wasn't as open, just because the defense was going to get the foul.
Yeah, because he knew he had the smaller defender on him. Hawkinson's 6'1", 6'2", and Kinsey's 6'6", so you can dump it down low to him in the lane because he's got the size advantage, even if he's not quote unquote open.
Yes, exactly. Thompson looking to drive, goes up against a couple defenders.
Foul there.
Yes, I agree. The ball back to the Crimson, and again, those moments you need to take advantage of take a look at what the refs are actually calling, so you know throughout this game. But Jamison Jr.
Athletic move by Jamison Jr. underneath. But again, most of they're kind of playing a 1 center and 4 guard lineup right now. So this is where Spring Lake Park has to take advantage of their size and athleticism.
Thompson gives it up, back over to Kinsey. On the wing, spin move inside the lane and up, swoosh!
Tough shot.
It's exactly what Kinsey is so good at, just making those decisions. Is he going to put that one up? And typically when he's putting it up, it's going through. And they're on defense. He doesn't just do it on offense, he shows how athletic he is. And the rebounded dunk, Kinsey again!
Oh, the follow by Logan Kinsey. Woo!
Boy, that was exactly what the Panthers needed. 14-9, our score.
I mean, it was a great pass initially, Blythe. A little give and go with his brother, and then he was Johnny on the spot to follow it up and dunk it home. That was sweet.
Yeah, that builds the energy in this gym for sure as they look to, again, they now have that good lead up by 5. And as this game could have been one that would be back and forth, at least they've chosen to find a separation in the early minutes to give themselves a little bit more of that ability to relax and find those quality possessions. Popping it.
Kesty, that's his 4th three he's tried already in the half. He's feeling it from distance.
Must have had a good warm-up from 3. Sometimes that happens. But
good block by Will Kinsey. And talking to Guzzi before the game, he said they like to put Kinsey on the toughest player because he's kind of their shutdown defender. And right there, he shut John Hawkinson down on that drive.
And you can't win the game without some great defense, and the Panthers have showed that they're ready to get those stops in those big moments.
Yeah.
Still our score, 14-9, and that last foul was on Will Kinsey.
So he goes out, and Freddie Anthony checks in, and Bo Johnson will check in for Kesty as well. Both Kinseys actually depart. So you've got Freddie Anthony, and no, they're gonna go big with Kesty and Johnson out there. Twin towers on the floor for Spring Lake Park.
Nice look from the wing. The bank is open for the Crimson as they get back within 2.
Sometimes better be lucky than good.
So true, but I remember my coach how many times he told me, it's higher percentage, you get it off the backboard.
Ojale, they need him to be hitting from 3.
We'll see if he can find some of his ways, those strokes, as they get further into this game. But haven't seen too much so far. Crimson looking to drive, going up against Ogile, but there for the block. Ogile got a hand on that one.
Ogile, it's hard to get past him physically, as that was a pretty quick rest from Logan Kinsey. Not sure if they just subbed out the wrong person or what, but I think Logan Kinsey may have just come out on accident. Good D by Bo Johnson.
Off the foot, but referees let it play.
A little bit scrambled right now.
As they work it inside, Bo Johnson gonna do some post action and gets it off the glass and in.
Spin move and a nice one. They expected him to spin middle. He spun baseline instead and got the layup.
So you always need is, the inability to be able to read what he's going to do. I mean, he did that perfectly. Like you said, he didn't spin inside, which would have been the typical, would have been what people would have been expecting. And now heading to the line.
Jamison, to me, it looked like he just lost his footing. He kind of out of control, but he got bailed out. And, I was interested. I was talking to one of the assistant coaches before the game, and I'm like, yeah, Bo Johnson could be a real player if he could just learn to stay out of foul trouble. And it's those little ticky-tack fouls that get him in trouble.
The hustle play there from Jamison Johnson. The junior keeps possession as they give it back to the Panthers right away. Panthers ready to make a play. You saw that transition game. They wanted to get up the court.
Yeah, Freddie Anthony in transition off the steal, so the defense paying dividends for Spring Lake Park.
I would say a lot of that could be also coming off the bench. You have that spark, that energy to try to get things going and wanting to get those points as you get back in the basketball game. Ball off the rim.
Oh, and now see, again, Bo Johnson, and now you're forced to go back to Stephen Kesty as Johnson, just be blocked out there. It's okay, live to fight another day, but Johnson kind of rakes him back, picks up a silly quick second foul, and now Kesty has to be back. So that's just something a young player has to learn in the course of playing time.
Yeah, and so his junior year just has that one more season, and for him, I think, too, it's the hardest foul to get. I mean, the worst foul to get, just how far away from the basket you are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you weren't going to get that rebound, yeah, you just have to know when to, you got to pick your battles, right?
Crimson bringing the ball up. They're down by 4 as they push it to the wing. Crimson now kind of looking to slow things up for themselves as well. Work this one around. Look for that opening. Jameson Jr. gives it back. And inside the lane, popping out wide for 3. They get it to Vaida.
Yeah, that was just a good bit of off-ball movement, and he finally popped out to the corner and set his feet. Didn't need much time to get that shot off.
Now the Crimson playing that defense that they need. Gets the dunk on the other end in the transition game. The Crimson, that's what they needed. Now into the lead. They feel that momentum. They feel the crowd with them.
Yeah, the slam and transition, pretty impressive from Maple Grove. And that was one of those ones where it just slipped out of Peyton Thompson's hands near the timeline. And then he didn't, he couldn't touch it again otherwise. And actually, he probably should have touched it again. Because at least then it's a dead ball turnover.
Yep,
and they can reset on defense. But instead, they give him a transition opportunity, and Maple Grove takes its first lead of the basketball game.
Yeah, I think what's interesting, too, is you think about what that's going to do to this game. Sometimes, that can create panic for the Panthers after they've been in the lead for the majority of this game, not all of it, and now going back and having to take that back seat for a second can kind of mess with you. And so we'll see how the Panthers respond after now going down just 1 point, if they can get this lead back right away and kind of put their foot to the pedal and push it down full throttle. Freddie Anthony with the basketball, bringing it up. It's Grant Guzzi calling the plays from the sideline. Working that motion offense. Logan Kinsey puts it up and drains it through. Kinsey just exactly like the game plan, I'm sure, in that timeout.
Yeah, Kinsey's got 9 already, and that's exactly what they needed. He's played so well as of late.
And mentally, you get your players that have been sinking them. That confidence early on in a playoff game, it's only going to continue to sink through the rest of the game.
Watch out.
Got inside and able to pop it through. Norby gets it for the Crimson.
Yeah, Peter Norby, a senior big, got 4 of the last 4 points for the Crimson, and we've got a good one. Tied at 19 with 6:21 to play.
Thompson wants it all the way. Doesn't quite get there. Short put up, but he gets the foul call, and that's what you need to do. If you're not going to get that ball to go through, how can you stay strong and at least get to go to the line and sink these easy ones?
He is so tough inside. Gets his own rebound, gets the stick back, counted on the foul, and so his shot is not falling in the early going, but he's finding other ways to impact the game. And with the size advantage that they have, it should have, that should be the case, right? Go follow your rebound, your missed shot, stick with it, and good things will happen.
Now you see that home court advantage for the Crimson, trying to get him to not be able to sink that free throw, but he does. He gets it on 3.
And now they're back to that full court pressure. Can they keep Maple Grove in check? Hasn't really worked so far, although just as I say that, they look a little scrambled.
Yeah, Maple Grove got frazzled there after that press by the Panthers, but they seem to recover. They're back in the offensive set. Hawkinson inside the lane, dishes it out wide and off the mark in the back iron. Kinsey pulls down the rebound and has to fight for it to get this foul.
Yeah, and see, that's a dumb foul on John Hawkinson's part because, again, you're 94 feet from the basket and you're just trying to force a tie-up, but ultimately you commit the personal foul. Now, interestingly, for Maple Grove, Ashton Kiomzi, a 5'11 senior, he's one of the leading scorers for this team, nearly 10 points a game. He doesn't have anything right now. So he checks in back into the game, but he has not been involved in the game whatsoever yet. Good square off and a good recovery defensively. Wow, nice find by Kesty, but good defensive play to strip it away. That would have been a dunk otherwise for Kinsey.
Absolutely, and now the Crimson trying to work down by 3. So they look to get it back. 5:16 on the clock before halftime. And again, neither team needs to really push and force something. Still a very close basketball game. So continue just to find that quality opportunity. But the Panthers back with the basketball. Logan Kinsey giving it up to O'Gile, who gives it right back. Kinsey splitting the defense inside the lane, pops it back out to Kesty, over to the wing to Anthony, who slows things back up. Everyone kind of pushed over for a second there on the right side of the court as they spread back out. O'Gile gives it up. And off the glass, Kinsey didn't quite get that to roll, but he has his teammates there to help.
Stephen Kesty playing big minutes underneath, and again, offensive rebounding. What did we talk about before the game? The rebounding advantage of Spring Lake Park. That's coming to bear so far. Long 3.
Yeah, ball sent up. Nothing able to go for the Crimson, and looks like we'll stay here for Maple Grove basketball underneath.
Yeah, foul on Stephen Kesty. 5th team foul. Actually, they're going to get Will Kinsey, his 2nd. So I'm not sure. I wasn't sure who they were going to call on the box out, but ultimately it was Will Kinsey.
Back in play, the Crimson will work. Dishing over to that weak side, but the defense from Logan Kinsey comes up big time on that play.
Kyle Bickey just not strong with the basketball underneath, and Kinsey took it right away. That's a foul.
An athletic play, able to keep it in bounds, give it up to Kesty, but off the mark and way long. Kesty doesn't get it to drop.
I thought that could have been a foul because Kinsey was trying to stop his momentum underneath the basket to catch it, and he got kind of pushed out of the way.
The referees let them play on, and again, something to note just as we get further into this game, what are the referees going to call in some of those bigger moments later on? You want to be aware of what might be on the referee's mind if they're going to let that one go.
Yep.
But Freddie Anthony gives it up. Logan Kinsey inside the lane, pops it up, and gets it to fall. Kinsey just having a phenomenal game. And
he is, and they're allowing Jacob Anderson, the 6-foot junior guard, to be very physical with him. Meanwhile, 21, Matt Hosman loves that long three-pointer. Now, he is the team's leading scorer at 10.2 points a game, but he loves that deep three.
Yeah, they had a couple players on their team that don't seem to care how far out they are.
No.
They just kind of put it up if they have the opening.
No, back to a 7-point lead, though, for Spring Lake Park. I believe their largest of the half. 3 minutes to go. So Panthers starting to pull away after we were tied at 19. It's a 7-0 run.
Get the ball back in. The Crimson will look to work this one around. And they have the time, 2:49 on the clock. Of course, no shot clock, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, so these guys have all the time they want to find that perfect shot.
There will be next year, though, which will be interesting.
Have to make that adjustment in the offseason, but as of right now, nothing. And up and in, the Crimson get it to fall, and that's what they needed to do. They stayed patient. They waited to kind of lull the Panthers to sleep to find that opening to drive the lane.
Explosive guard play from Kiomzi. Wild kind of shot on this end, by the way, from Kinsey. But fortunately, Spring Lake Park gets to set up its defense in the half court.
26-21 our score, 2:07 on the clock. Crimson work this one around. Holzman gives it back. And Kiomsi gets it to fall yet again. First time it was the left side, now we're on the right side, finding it on both sides of the court. But
clearly his athleticism and his quickness is what his best attribute is. And he's going to look to exploit that.
Yeah, you got to work with what goes well for you, and he has done that so far. But inside the lane, popping it back out, Stephen Kesty gonna let his team reset. Thompson with the basketball. You're seeing the Crimson staying tight in their defense. O'Giles bobbles it off a few different parts of that rim before it fell out, and now we just have a 3-point lead by the Panthers. Haven't scored in just a little bit. Getting close to just a minute left in this first half. And the Crimson might look to work a lot of this clock away, if not get the opening here. They put that ball up. Panthers gladly get the rebound.
Logan Kinsey averaging more than 10 rebounds a game this season, and you can see why. Nearly 11 boards a game for Kinsey.
O'Giles finding that baseline, pops it back out.
Good patience by Spring Lake Park.
Again, you're going to work this clock down. 35 seconds to go in this first half. You have a 3-point lead. You don't want to let the other team and your opponent get closer before you head into halftime. So you're going to hold a lot of this clock off, as you can see the Panthers do so. 20 seconds to go, and Logan Kinsey exactly who you want with the basketball. He does give it up. Freddie Anthony with it now. 12 to go.
Nice take.
Freddie Anthony getting it to go, and he, again, so patient, and I think that's why he found that opening as well. The Panthers steal, and O'Giles just about to get the buzzer beater as they head into halftime. 28-23 our score. We'll come back just before the second half to unpack a few things. I'm Blake Whaley alongside Bill Hupp. We'll see you for the second half, guys.
Cassette tape, record album, and even photographs and slides to DVD and digital, so you can enjoy them again. North Metro TV, bringing the past to life.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years and I got my third child who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
I'll be seeing you.
No, the thing I've missed the most during this entire time, this pandemic, has been you.
I love playing to a live audience. There's nothing like it.
The COVID-19 vaccines are going to help us all get back to the moments we miss.
It's totally normal to have questions. I did too.
That's why it's so important to get informed.
So ask your doctor and get the facts. It's up to you.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
To get to know each other
on a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Wash your hands. Scrub it while you sing the song. Wash. Rub your hands and fingers and the places in between. Using soap and water makes your hands so clean. Wash your hands. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now dry.
Wash your hands for 20 seconds, just like Elmo.
And we are back here at Maple Grove High School, where the section quarterfinal between the Crimson and our Spring Lake Park Panthers continues into the second half. 28-23 our score. I'm Blake Whaley alongside Bill Hupp, and Bill, that first half really got things going in this gym. You saw some things coming from the fans, just getting excited that their teams are in contention to try to head to that semifinal.
Yeah, it's a good atmosphere here for sure. Spring Lake Park led by as many as 7. They went on a 7-0 run when it was tied at 19. And that's why they have this 5-point lead at half. led by Logan Kinsey's 11 points. Only 4 points from Peyton Thompson, so they definitely need the second leading scorer on their team to get going in the second half. But if you're a Panthers fan, you'll take a 5-point lead on the road against a higher seed at halftime.
Yeah, what do the Panthers need to do maybe to get things to continue the way that it's been in this first half? How do they keep this lead that they've set themselves up with?
Well, I think that they need to continue to take advantage of their size mismatch and pound the ball inside. I mean, you see a lot of Logan Kinsey with a 4-inch height advantage over John Hawkinson. Continue to get the ball inside to your guys who have mismatches and try to take advantage, maybe get them in foul trouble, and just try to take advantage of the size, because Logan Kinsey can just shoot that little turnaround mid-range J over a lot of guards on this Maple Grove team.
Hey, I hope the Panthers stay composed on offense. They've done a good job of this in the first half. And Thompson inside, puts it off the glass and just about gets it to go.
Offensive foul though on Spring Lake Park as Hawkinson gets knocked down. They're calling Logan Kinsey for the foul, going for the offensive rebound, just his first. But
definitely don't want to get those to continue for Logan Kinsey. They need him in this game.
Yeah, and obviously that's something that we'll have to keep an eye on. But certainly we'll see how the refs call this game, because obviously the Panthers are going to be very aggressive going for those offensive boards.
Driving and getting the foul call, that's Kiomsi.
Yeah, and first foul on O'Giles, but already the second team foul as Ashton Kiomsi goes to the free throw line for 2, but obviously 2 trips, up and down the court and 2 fouls on Spring Lake Park to start the second half.
First one, no good. He'll get another chance from the charity stripe, but
if it's not a layup, he doesn't like it, I guess.
Yeah, he is so good at those. He definitely wants them to fall rather than going to the free throw line, but see if he can get this second chance to go. He does. He puts that one through with ease. Nothing but nets, and the Panthers still up by 4, and Thompson with the basketball. Trying to get it inside. Kinsey able to keep control and keep the Panthers working it around. Thompson dishes it out wide to O'Giles. O'Giles using his side, pushes that one out to Kesty, but he has it rattle out. And it will stay with Spring Lake Park.
You can clearly tell that Matt Hoseman doing an example there, when they are trying to get box out hard and get offensive fouls picked up on Spring Lake Park. They're looking for that. Tough shot by Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson goes up strong, doesn't get a foul or anything, but he's trying to get that basketball to start falling for him in this second half. He's going to have to keep trying to put that one up.
Yeah, he hasn't really tried many threes from my recollection as a deep 3 hit by Hoseman, but he hasn't really shot the 3 much, and Grant Guzzi wants a timeout. He has not liked how this second half has started for the Panthers.
Yeah, now just a 1-point game. The Crimson came out firing and got this lead back in contention. Just 1 point down for them, and easily they could try to take this lead in these next couple possessions. And it's kind of what we talked about in the break, Bill, was just what that's going to look like if the Panthers do go down. How are they going to respond? How can they stay maybe composed to see that back to when they're on their run streak?
Yeah, I'd like to think that Spring Lake Park life would be poised because they have so many seniors in their lineup. But you never know. I mean, they've lost a lot of close games this year. They've battled with injuries and COVID. It's been kind of a weird year for Spring Lake Park. But the Panthers' mettle is definitely going to be tested here tonight, even though they won the first game against the Crimson by 18. Crimson are not going to go down without a fight here in this playoff matchup.
Yeah, Crimson, just one of those schools that is known for kind of a lot of things that they're
good at every sport, practically.
So definitely don't want to have that blemish. If they can make it past the quarterfinals, they want to be the team to do so.
Need to get Peyton Thompson involved. It'd be nice to see him hit a deep 3 or 2, which we know he's capable of doing.
Like you said, just even line up to take one if he hasn't really been active beyond that 3-point arc. Ball inside.
Nice basket cut.
Kinsey gets the ball back and able to put it up and in, and the Panthers get a much-needed basket to put them up by 3.
Hawkinson initially stole it, and then Kinsey stole it right back and laid it in.
I always love when those happen. It's just such a quick flip of the switch where, oh, we lost it, we got it back.
Oh, nice hands by Ogile to knock it free. The nice thing about that is he used the near hand instead of the far hand to reach for it. He used the near hand to knock it out of bounds. Just a little bit too slow.
Under 16 minutes left in this game. Panthers up by 3. Crimson working it around the horn. Seeing Maple Grove be a little bit more patient in the second half. Perhaps one of the reasons why they've been able to get back. But Thompson has the hands on defense to go up and get the foul call on the other end. It's exactly what you want. You want to get steals. You want to stop the Crimson up when you have the opportunity. But you go to the other end, and now you get time from that charity stripe.
Wydea got in the pass, or got raked Thompson across the arm, and Thompson just reading the pass well and stealing it. And maybe this will help him get going, seeing the ball go through the basket a couple times. Logan Kinsey leading all scorers tonight with 13, the only player in double figures. Been a pretty low-scoring game, considering. I mean, Maple Grove, we're 3 minutes into the second half. They don't even have 30 points.
Now we saw that full court press by the Panthers again and trying to go up. Can't quite get it to fall until he does. Palbicki gets that low bunny.
Kesty blocked the initial shot, but Palbicki does a nice job of following up with it and then sticking it back.
Huge second chance points for the Crimson. They'll want to continue that as they look to try to get this deficit back. Still down by 3. Thompson fires from range. We wanted to see him at least take one. This one doesn't fall for him. But again, if you haven't taken that many, the percentage is still there to try to get that back.
Yep, and then the offensive rebound by Will Kinsey, and he draws the foul on Hoseman, and it was a nice job just driving the baseline, taking advantage of his size.
Quick shot there from Logan Kinsey. Gets it to fall, that short jumper.
That's such a tough shot from the baseline, fading away like that, and he makes it look so smooth.
You saw how rapid he took that shot, too. He barely had it in his hands before he's releasing.
Very quick release.
Definitely a tough one to defend, and the Crimson now sit back down by 5. Again, don't forget, it's the quarterfinals, so both these teams, it's do or die, trying to make it onto that semifinal. For those seniors, they don't want it to be their last game of their careers, but anyone on this team, they don't want it to be the last game of their season. As the Crimson drive down the lane, dish it out wide, continue to work this one around. Again, they've stayed patient, they've used a lot of clock, but inside, he gets it, the three-point play opportunity. Palbicki heads to the line, but what a great job staying strong down low and getting that shot to still go in with that contact.
Yeah, just a power dribble from Palbicki and kind of banged into Kesty, who stayed up and down, but Palbicki's got the size advantage on Kesty as far as strength. You know, just a little, Kesty's a little skinnier, and so Palbicki can't convert the three-point play, but the Crimson hanging around down by 3.
Now we always talk about how crucial those free throws are in a tight game like this, and now the Crimson short on the last couple of those that they had.
And, you know, third team foul picked up by the Crimson, all trying to guard these, you know, bigger Spring Lake Park guards, and that indeed was a hold as Thompson was trying to get through the screen. We'll see if Bo Johnson can stay out there without fouling.
Thompson tries to light it up from range. He still isn't hitting from 3, and Ogile rebound and gets the foul because of his powerful move there down low.
That's exactly what we were talking about, right, Blythe? Well, Ogile's in there. He overpowers Kiomsi, and there's nothing he can do about it because Ogile's got 2 or 3 inches on him and probably about 40 pounds. And then he richly deserves his trip to the line, and it's already the 4th team foul on Maple Grove. So can you continue to pound them inside and pick up fouls and draw fouls if you're Spring Lake Park?
Ogile, another chance to put them back up by 4. He gets it to fall. And now the Crimson, again, still not wanting this deficit to be any larger. They're going to go try to get this one close.
You just need to continue to defend the perimeter and prevent those three-point shots.
Inside, hard. Doesn't get it to drop, and now a jump ball will be called, and that's only going to help the Crimson keep possession of this basketball. Only good thing for the Panthers there is just that they know next time if there is a jump ball, they'll get possession, and maybe that will be in a more crucial time of the game. But 13:30 left in this second half as the Crimson look to work back. Ball inside, Crimson.
Ooh, that could have been a travel. Guzzi wanted it. And then right there, I think Logan Kinsey had all ball, but Jamison Jr. draws the foul, and he'll go to the free throw line. But boy, at least from up here, it looked like he had his hand on the ball. Only the second on Logan Kinsey, so he's not in foul trouble by any means, but it's a tough call.
Jamison Jr., hard shot off the back iron.
Yeah, Maple Grove not shooting free throws extremely well tonight.
You always think about the difference it can make in a game and the momentum swing it could have, because again, if they had hit some of these last few, that could be a one-point game, and if not, in the lead if they've been hitting these. And again, another one off the mark. Thompson gonna lead this offensive set, gets it over to Ogile. Ogile just about picks up his pivot foot, but gets the pass off just in time. Bo Johnson setting the screen. And the foul, they will get it.
And now, yep, and that's the right one. The Maple Grove fans not happy with that call, but it's the right call, and it is the 4th foul on Vaida. So he has to check out when they bring a little more size in.
Bo Johnson with it on top. Sit up.
I mean, I don't know how you don't call that a foul, but
no call. All the way to the other end. The Crimson find a way to get a bucket. Now just down by 2, and we talk about momentum all the time in pretty much every sport that we're on the air, and that can definitely help the Crimson feel some more life.
No call on one end, and it leads to a layup in transition on the other. Bo Johnson, as they tried to flop, and Peyton Thompson gets the layup. Johnson nearly called for his 3rd right there.
Yes, and we've said Thompson, we wanted him to continue to get included in the offense, and he finds a way. He isn't hitting from range, but he can get in there and find those lay-ins, and he seems to do so with ease on certain possessions. Omisi, dribble spin out. But the defense there again for the Panthers comes up big, and Kinsey helps the Panthers get possession back. Long range 3, and nothing but net. Finally, we find one from Thompson, able to swoosh through, and now 7-point lead for the Panthers.
7 points in this half for Thompson. He's into double figures, and what do we say? He needs to get that 3-point shot going. And all of a sudden, it's back to the largest lead of the game for the Panthers.
And that's Jamison Jr. to the hole, gets the foul call. We'll see if he can make his free throws this time as he heads to the line.
Now a decision for Coach Guzzi, because with 11:27 left, you've got Logan Kinsey with 3 fouls. Does he want to replace him for a couple minutes, buy a few minutes of time? He's not really going deep into that bench tonight. Is Jamison Jr. able to rattle it home, and indeed Freddie Anthony is going to spell him for a minute.
I think that's a great decision. I mean, Grant Guzzi, he's been around for a good chunk of time here at Spring Lake Park.
Yeah.
And he knows exactly what his team needs, and I think that was what Kinsey needs to do. Take a second, get a breather, come back in. with some fresh legs and not maybe picking up some of these silly fouls. And now Thompson, we saw him get going on this last possession. We'll see if he can continue to shoot the lights out in this next one. Bo Johnson inside, and again, those are the possessions that you want. You want to give him the basketball because the defense is so on his back that regardless if he gets the ball, they're just going to blow the whistle because he's already given him a foul, basically.
Yeah, and you pick up another foul, that's 6, so next one they're shooting the 1-and-1.
Yeah, and that's huge to point out because that can change the game if the Panthers are able to make those shots. And now Bo Johnson will head to the line for just that reason. And 5-point game. Bo Johnson going to head to the line, trying to get up again by 7. 11-12 left in the game. And now Panthers will be shooting 1-and-1 the rest of the way.
And Johnson was shooting obviously here, so he'll get 2. But Bo Johnson drawing 2 fouls on the Crimson and getting them into the bonus, getting the Panthers into the bonus with just his presence down low.
Yeah, and he made those free throws that look effortless, putting them back up by 7. Definitely feels good as we get later into this game, knowing that the Panthers can find those free throws and get them in when they need to.
And they would move on, likely to play the number 2 seed in Osseo on
inside
next Tuesday.
The lane, that's Kiyomizi, can't get it to go. We saw him do so well on some of those drives earlier on, but now Thompson trying to get a drive of his own, can't off the mark, and some quick transition, both teams, but Jamison Jr. gets this one to drop. Jamison Jr. gets that play in, and now we're back, we're within 5, and trying to get it to fall from range. Thompson, he had it fall earlier, but can't get it there.
Don't like that shot from Thompson because it was too quick, too early in the possession. Out of control from Jamison Jr.
The ball back up, Panthers. Again, we'll see if they settle down in this possession. We saw how quickly Thompson shot at the last one. Again, they're still up by 5. No need to rush. Thompson in the lane, and now the 3-point play opportunity as he heads to the line.
And a flex from Thompson as he just bowled over.
He deserves it. He deserves it.
Yeah, Kiyomizi. And that was well-deserved as he just put his head down, drove to the hole, took the contact, and the smaller guards of Maple Grove just not able to keep pace. And that size advantage, you know, showing up in this game, and Thompson with a chance to give Spring Lake Park its largest lead of the game.
Gets the free throw to go as well, so he made sure that 3-point play happened. Crimson with the basketball, and now down by 8. So that deficit gets larger as Maple Grove looks to work back and get this game back in grip. But ball.
Good box out by Bo Johnson too. Snag that rebound.
Now Crimson, they tried to take it from range, like you'd said. They needed to try to hit some of those threes, but foul called there, and we'll head to the line. The Panthers got an opportunity to find some more from the free throw line.
Jacob Anderson, again, the 6-foot junior guard, could not keep pace with Will Kinsey, and sort of an out-of-control shot, but obviously fouled there. And that's already the 9th team foul of the half, Blythe, and we're not even halfway through the second half.
That's so true.
How many times can I say half in 30 seconds?
Well, he missed the first half of his free throw.
Got to hit your free throws, though, if you're Spring Lake Park. It's nice to get all these free throws, but you have to make them. Have, like, H-A-V-E to make them, not H-A-L-F.
Will stay in the hands of the Panthers as Bo Johnson got the rebound. Ojayo popping and making it. You see him.
The Maple Grove fans are furious because they thought off to the free throw it hit the top of the backboard. That should have turned it over to the Crimson. Johnson stays with it, taps it to Ojayo, who buries a corner 3. Double-digit lead now for Spring Lake Park.
So you got to wait for that whistle. You got to play all the way through, and you saw that there. But now a foul on the other end. We're seeing the Panthers.
3rd on Will Kinsey. So his brother, I think, is going to spell him. And now you've got a little wiggle room, right? You're up by 11, 9:19 to go. And so now you just have to tell Logan Kinsey, hey, stay out of foul trouble.
How can you hunker in, make sure you don't allow some of those? But now again, another foul, Bo Johnson, and that is his third.
And that is a Bo Johnson foul we can live with because he's challenging the shot at the rim, right? Otherwise, 22 would have dunked it. But Bo Johnson is challenging him at the rim, fouling him, and making him go earn it at the free throw line.
I feel like I go both ways on that. Because definitely, I see what you're saying, where it's like, yeah, you'd rather have him take a foul there than obviously on the court, like we said earlier.
My point.
No, I know, but yeah, and then also it's like, okay, but you're up by 11. So you could get in position, just try to make him miss it around
just be
you.
big.
Yeah, so I could see both ways, but definitely a lot better than the one we saw earlier from him on the other end of the court. So he was in position to try.
And he missed both free throws.
So it worked out. There you go. There you go. But now definitely he doesn't want to get any more fouls after just getting his third. He'll put them in a tricky pickle with 9 minutes still to go. Ball inside. Logan Kinsey, can he work around two defenders? Picks up the foul and will head to the line. 48-37 our score. We'll see if Logan Kinsey can add to that lead.
John Hawkinson claiming he got all ball, but he was behind Logan Kinsey. Kinsey just got good position there.
It's almost a sharpshooter there trying to put that ball up. Didn't look like a smooth stroking Kinsey like we typically see. So that first free throw, not the usual one from him. We'll see if he gets back to his old ways. Doesn't with the second, but Ojai is there to roll it in.
Ogile's such a huge hustle player. I mean, he's got 8 tonight, and every one of them has been big points. And they're going to have to bring Palbicki in because they're just getting killed on the boards.
Yeah, absolutely. And inside, trying to make that one go in. Hawkinson was going in hard, but his teammate able to help him out and score it. That was Norby.
Yeah, Norby's had a nice game off the bench between that dunk and then a couple good stick backs, but Spring Lake Park got to stay tough here, up by 11, lead as many as 13 in this second half.
Freddie Anthony works it to Kesty inside. Ojai doesn't get the bounce.
The dreaded missed layup and then foul.
True.
And now we're going to walk to the other end because that's the 8th team foul. So now, how well can Maple Grove shoot free throws? Spring Lake Park, for the record, is in the double bonus as there's 10 team fouls on Maple Grove.
So this game, like we say about a lot of them, could come down to free throws. Who's going to be able to continue to sink those as we get down the stretch? 8 minutes, 16 seconds to go in this game. So still a lot of time for these guys to get to that free throw line, given the circumstances of both teams in the bonus. But this one is good. And the Panthers now just up by 10.
Dreaming about that miss. He's had such a good game, but man, that was a bunny.
Nightmare.
Yeah, nightmare. Yeah, bad dreams, to be clear.
Hoseman, see if he can make his second. Nope, off the back.
He's such a good rebounder, isn't he? I mean, there's a reason he's averaging nearly 19 and 11 a game. I mean, he's just having an all-state kind of year.
Yeah, you gotta love those averages of a double-double. It's just, you know that player is just
I wouldn't know about that, but I do love it.
Kinsey from range, and he shows it. He does have that range. He doesn't just have to be underneath the hoop. He finds it from behind the three-point arc to help his team.
And he got rid of it so quick. He shot it so quick. He didn't have much room to get it off, but he did and nailed it.
13 points. The Panthers are up.
Good hands in the passing lane by Kesty to knock it free. Now Maple Grove trying to spread the floor and then drive and kick to shooters, but yeah, 13-point lead. Spring Lake Park looking good so far, but a lot of basketball still to play.
Paida gets the foul. We'll head to the line. And again, they have to make their free throws from here on out. We'll see if he can do so to get this game back to a little bit closer than it is now. Again, that 13-point lead the Panthers still have. Now 12 after that first free throw make by Vaida.
He's got 4 fouls, by the way, so he's in. And is this going to be the 4th foul on Logan Kinsey, or is, nope, jump ball, that's going to go to the Panthers. Fortunate because that could have been the 4th foul on Logan Kinsey.
And And I hope he takes note of that too, of that feeling, because it easily could have went that way, and trying to make sure he plays safe. Still 7 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Thompson pushes this one up, pulls it back over to Kinsey, and
smart play, and now we'll see what they run.
Ojile, bounce pass to Kinsey. Kinsey takes it to the hole, doesn't get it to fall, but Kesty is right there for the putback.
Good follow by Kesty. He knows that the defense is going to go with Kinsey on the layup, and no one boxed him out.
Under 7 minutes to go here at Maple Grove High School. Popping from range and getting it to sink. Hawkinson.
Full timeout for Maple Grove after that three. Cuts the lead to 11, but inside 7 minutes left. Spring Lake Park can't get complacent now. They have to continue to be aggressive, attacking and trying to get free throws.
Yeah, we've seen Maple Grove go down by some and get right back in it. However, the Panthers were able to get that lead back under a good margin, but you've seen it happen in this game alone, and so you know, hey, the Panthers just need to be aware. Maple Grove is going to be coming. They took this time out for a reason. They want to try to use that last three maybe as some momentum to get back in it.
Yeah, they still have time, plenty of time left to go, but, you know, Guzzy's talking to his boys about as Maple Grove continues to work in their huddle with head coach Nick Schroeder. And meanwhile, Grant Guzzy on the Spring Lake Park sideline on the bench talking to his kids about toys and making sure you're making the right decisions and valuing the basketball. At least that's what I assume he's talking about. I don't actually know. I'm not down.
He's not mic'd up.
No,
he's
not mic'd up. Not yet.
Yeah, exactly. So 6:54 on the clock as these guys come back from timeout. Ojile going to take the ball in for the Panthers. And you hear the music. These teams getting pumped, amped to try to make it to the semifinals.
Where's the pep band? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, true. That's missing tonight. Freddie Anthony, pretty good handle. And trusting him to bring it across. Ojile with it on the wing, gives it over to Kesty. Kesty defended pretty tightly there.
Oh, nice backdoor cut.
What a great pass. That bounce pass slithering to the Thompson down low. And again, he's just been so good at that with speed, getting to the hole. But his teammate being able to find him there was that much more impressive.
And that's what you do in aggressive overplay, right? You backdoor cut and you make yourself available.
Thompson dribbling around a few defenders before they get that foul call, but Thompson.
I think he'll be. Oh no, they're going to get Thompson at the foul. Wow.
The offensive foul. A little bit surprised by that call, but I mean, they just have to shake it off, not really think about it too much. There's nothing you can do.
I'm not sure what that was.
6 minutes, 14 seconds, and Vaida all the way gets it to fall. Vaida gets the steal right away too. He's the player who has 4 fouls, but making a huge difference. You definitely don't want him to foul out of this game if you are a Maple Grove fan.
Oh, nice steal, and then they call a foul. I don't know about that. Looked like a 50-50 ball, but Hawkinson's been going to ground easily, shall we say, sometimes tonight. It's kind of a real, feisty player. And now I don't know what if they're talking about how. I'm not sure what they're talking about.
No, I'm not sure if that was a home court play. They call that. Yeah, they do call it on Logan Kinsey.
Fourth foul on him.
So they'll take.
It looked like 2 players going for a ball, 50-50 ball. I'm not sure. I mean, but a lot of times you're going to lose that call if you're a defender. So, this is what Thompson has to really step up and provide that offense for Spring Lake Park.
And still a lot of time on the clock when you really think about it to be playing with 4 fouls. So.
And you can't be casual inbounding the ball against a full court press like the Panthers were on that last trip.
Becky fighting for it underneath, but the Panthers trying to get
They're calling. Guzzy's on the court at mid-court. He wanted a timeout. Now the ref kind of turns and glares at him. Maple Grove got the tie-up. Guzzy was trying to get the timeout called to keep possession after Will Kinsey stole it. but it wasn't granted.
Crimson still working to get back from this deficit. They've been down for a good majority of this game, and that firing from range doesn't get it to go. And now the Panthers will see if they can try to slow things down.
Got to value the ball.
Use some of this clock, but Thompson all the way to the hole. You use the clock unless that basket is open, and he finds it to put them back up by even more, 59-46.
Well, like I said, they need Thompson's offense.
Draining the three by Ida. Again, that player, 4 fouls, but he is making a massive impact late in this game to keep the Crimson as close as they are.
Still a 10-point lead, under 5 minutes to go, but definitely need to hit threes.
Kinsey from beyond that three-point arc, getting the triple, and definitely keeping the Panthers to that, that very solid lead that they have.
Panthers getting timely buckets, and when the momentum and the urgency is with Maple Grove. And that you can tell because Maple Grove's spending its timeouts like they're going out of style every time they get one. Still an 11-point lead for Spring Lake Park with 4:34 to go. But the Panthers, still a lot of basketball left in this game.
Yeah, we'll see with both these teams, having a couple of those players sitting at 4 fouls and a couple of those key players, I should say, sitting at 4 fouls. That can be tough, but not crazy amount of time left in this game, but enough time for this to really go either way, depending on which team is going to step out of this timeout and really take that pedal to the metal and make it happen.
Yep, now they have to be poised, right? Because Maple Grove is going to try to dial up the defensive pressure. Can they continue to draw fouls and get to the free throw line and not turn the ball over? Because Maple Grove, that's how they're going to get back in this game. A 3 and then a steal and then another 3.
Yeah, also, just kind of like you're saying there, just don't allow, obviously, the other team to steal the basketball. Possession is going to be huge with that time on the clock for the Panthers especially. Maple Grove, they don't want to really take too quick of a shot. There's still enough time that they don't need to fire it immediately, but they do need to take it a little bit quicker than the Panthers, per se.
Yeah, and when do you bring back Logan Kinsey, right? You've got 4.5 minutes left and an 11-point lead. You want to bring him back at some point, maybe 3 minutes left or 3:30. Can't be much longer, but they're going to pick up full court. And now it's just a matter of getting it in the hands of the guys you trust.
Yeah, and sometimes you're not even going off the time. You're going by how close that score gets. If they start to put in a couple baskets, it's like immediately he might be going in just to keep that lead.
Yep. Oh, that's a dangerous pass.
Ogile.
Flop right there by Hawkinson, but Ogile comes back. And then a bad pass from Ogile.
Big steal. Hoseman gets the way in.
What do we talk about, Blythe?
Maple Grove Crimson.
Got to value the basketball, right? Mm-hmm. And turning it over so they can jump the passing lanes is not doing that.
Yeah, Hoseman, a huge play. And now again, giving it right back. And this is Jamison Jr. to the hole and in. 3 minutes, 47 seconds, and now this game got quite a bit closer. 7-point game, and now just about giving it right back to the Crimson again.
He's all over him. How is that not a foul?
Finally getting the timeout call. You mentioned it prior in a different play that Guzzi is really trying to get those timeout calls when they're in trouble, and the referee's not hearing them. This gym is loud, so maybe that's giving the referees some trouble hearing them.
I guess what I don't understand, at the risk of sounding like a Homer announcer, Hawkinson is literally diving on top of Ogile and wrestling him. He's pinning him. And I'm not sure how that's not a foul. Now Hawkinson is hurt on the sidelines, so hopefully he's okay. Checking out his elbow. But Guzzi gets the timeout. But there was no attempt to go for the ball there. He just dove on top of Ogile. Now, Ogile's a big kid.
So he can take
He's a big teddy bear. He can take it. He's a football star. But still, I just,
Yeah.
But yeah, Logan Kinsey is checked back in. So he's back in the game. But again, nearly 3 straight turnovers right there. All at the top of the key. And they're not even getting their shots. They're not even getting the ball inside. It'd be one thing if they're turning it over that way, but they're getting it down low, passing it back out top, and Maple Grove is aggressively looking for those turnovers. So I hope that Coach Guzzi is emphasizing to the kids that you have to take care of the basketball. Turnovers are what's going to help you lose this game. Because they're leading to transition buckets, right? And we've seen that.
Yeah. Yeah, Crimson very good at getting the basketball and just going straight to the basket to put it in. And the Panthers, how can you use this clock? 3 minutes, 38 seconds to go, and you could definitely work a lot of this clock down if you value the basketball, which you talked about too.
All 5 starters back in the game for Spring Lake Park. You can tell I'm passionate about ball security, Blythe.
Yeah, definitely, and we'll see if the Panthers can continue to keep this basketball. Thompson.
Vaita's been out there for like 10 minutes with 4 fouls and see they're jumping the passing lanes.
Ball put up and off the rim. A foul is called in the shove. They give it to Panthers, and that's exactly, it's tough.
What's crazy is the big 6'10" guy goes down, and they call a foul on the box out attempt. So Logan Kinsey also with 4 fouls, joining his brother. Now, he's not a bad guy to have shoot free throws because I don't think he's a great free throw shooter. But, yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out if he can hit him when the time counts, because definitely some guys, they're not the best free throw shooter around, but when that pressure is on, sometimes they're able to sink these. And he does.
I want to be careful with how I choose my words here, Blythe, but I would say that Maple Grove is convincing the refs tonight in some of their fouls, selling the contact. And just as I say, he's not a great free throw shooter. He makes 2 of 2. 7-0 run now to cut it to a 5-point lead.
Sometimes that little bit more pressure, a little bit more on the line. Your whole season, you're trying everything you can to put yourself in position to get that victory. All the way to put that floater in. Thompson gets it to go.
They need to get a stop now and not foul. 3 minutes to go. Be careful.
O'Giles securing that basketball, helping the Panthers.
Big turnover forced by Spring Lake Park.
Yeah, it's what they need to do. 2 minutes, 45 seconds remain. And again, use this clock. How can you use it in your offensive set? Really don't need the points. You just need the basketball. Will Kinsey.
Well, you can't afford turnovers at this point. And they're allowing them to be very physical out high.
Logan Kinsey tried to drive, but again, just I think using this clock, and now they're going to call the foul. Tightly guarded the hand check.
Yeah, and that's the right call. Teal on teal, turquoise on turquoise shoe action right there.
No, it's always tough then to know which team. You're like, wait a second.
And that's when you got to be strong with the basketball, right? When you're driving and the guys putting pressure on you, man-to-man defense, that's when you have to be strong with it.
Yeah, we talk about this is Will Kinsey. It's his senior year, so again, these free throws matter just that much more to secure this victory to head to the semifinals.
Trying to keep his high school career alive. One more game at least in a Panthers jersey.
65-57. Can he make it 66? Off the iron and back to the Crimson. And how can you speed up the Crimson, make them throw it up, get that basketball back?
Or make them work some clock. You wouldn't mind that either.
True, yeah. If they are just going to continue to throw this one around and not attack, but they do. They fire from range and boink it off. And back to the Panthers. They go for the final 2 minutes. We'll see how long they can keep it.
Thompson, you just got to be patient at this point, not try to go back door, although it was the right idea. Well read by Hawkinson. And is it going to be on Kinsey or Kesty is the question.
Yeah, they're hoping Kesty, just for the amount of fouls.
I believe it is, yeah. Third foul on Kesty. It's been a foul fest in the second half, hasn't it?
Referees trying to keep everything in check. 65-57 our score, as we can see if Hawkinson able to get another point on the board.
I will say a better word to use to describe Maple Grove in this game, I'd say, has been scrappy.
Yep.
To give them something of a compliment.
Everyone needs a little compliment.
All right, they're counting the 5. Unfortunately, they're able to get it in.
Logan Kinsey going to keep his basketball a little too long. Maybe needed to give it up before he picked up that dribble.
Right, you got to be careful when you pick up the dribble.
able to get out unscathed. Thompson with it now. The drive. Everyone's collapsing on him, but he'll get fouled before he gives it away. Minute 30 on the clock exactly, and 65-58 is our score currently. We'll see if he's gonna help again push these Panthers just a little bit more security as they head into this final time.
Thompson 4 in the first half, but he's had 16 in the second half. He's up to 20 for the game. Make that 21. Hawkinson with his 4th foul. So now you've got a couple guards with 4 fouls, but they're continuing to play very aggressive pressure defense.
I always love when seniors can have some of those great games and in playoff runs, just knowing senior year. Kind of want them to end on that highlights.
Big free throws here for Thompson. And he calmly sinks both of them. Really well done from Peyton Thompson, who we talked about how they needed him to step up in the second half, and boy, has he 22 points for the game now.
Yeah, we talked about having Logan Kinsey have to sit on the bench with this foul trouble, and stepping up big time, another guy who has 4 fouls. Vaida makes it all the way in transition to now head to the free throw line for a 3-point play.
I don't understand how that's a foul. Thompson was clearly getting out of the way, letting him go with the layup. That's one of those fouls where I think the ref anticipates the contact and then calls it as soon as the ball goes through the bucket. Because I thought Thompson just let him get to the rim. I don't know what you saw, Blythe, but
I'm just glad I'm not a ref. I don't know what I saw, but I'm just glad I don't have to make those calls sometimes, because definitely without the replay, you're in maybe not the best position. You're like, I think that's what happened, and you have to make that call regardless of what you think you saw or didn't see.
yeah, I don't
have a decision at the end of it.
I mean, he practically escorted him to the rim, and yet still called the contact. It was clear that he was giving up the layup, but now a 6-point game, a 6-point lead for the Panthers. They've led by as many as 13 tonight, and how are they going to operate things? Obviously, Maple Grove's going to try to get a steal and maybe a 3. You have plenty of time if you're the Crimson. Still a minute 30, but it's very interesting. Do you ride the hot hand of Thompson or go from there? But yeah, it's a very interesting challenge, and this one's going down to the wire. I think it's clear.
We talked earlier, free throws. How huge is this going to be? Which team is going to sink their free throws here in this last minute 30? Because going to the line for that 3-point play, can he seal the deal? Get them just even that little bit closer. That puts it at a 5-point game if he can make this as they come back from the timeout. Because 5 points, gosh, that feels a lot different than 6 sometimes.
You got to have guys like Ogile making the right decision, because they're going to try to jump the passing lanes and get those turnovers.
Did he shoot that free throw before he went into timeout?
67.
6 points it will be.
Yeah, 67-61. It was a 9-point lead, but that 3-point play was big. And you see right there, knocking it out of play. How much poise can the Panthers have down the stretch? And right there, Ogile and McKenzie not on the same page. Turns it over. It doesn't take more than 2 seconds off the clock. Not what Spring Lake Park wanted coming out of the timeout.
Yeah, it's tough. Miscommunication here late on in the game. It's really going to come down to how can they hunker down on defense, get this ball back, not allow the Crimson to get any juice here as they head into this final seconds on the clock. Because you know they're capable of making a comeback if they let them. And now they get this one to drop. A tough break here for the Panthers as they get called for the foul. After this bucket goes in, Jamison Jr. getting it done, and now heads for more to the lane.
It doesn't matter if they're initiating the contact. They're still getting called for the foul, and the refs are calling the continuation. And so even though Maple Grove's not hitting the threes, they're getting the 3-point play advantage opportunities.
Whew, this one,
nervous time.
Panthers going to have to take a breath, just to make sure they don't give the basketball away. And tough, but the Panthers somehow keep this ball moving, and all the way to the other end for the dunk. Will Kinsey settles hopefully the Panthers down as somehow they get that basketball up to get some more points on the board.
Wow, they needed that dunk in the worst way.
Yes.
Now see Jamison Jr. out of control. It's a good no call. Maple Grove fans not happy. Hawkinson wanted to travel, and he gets a travel. I'm not sure how that's not a foul there. The assistants for Spring Lake Park very upset. Coach Guzzi upset as well. Hawkinson, and now Maple Grove will take a timeout with 49.5 seconds left and a 5-point deficit.
Yeah, I am a little bit speechless on that, how that wasn't a foul there as Thompson trying to get across, and they're just hammering him, and definitely contact. Referees deciding that that is not going to be a foul, and how can you be aware of that? Again, there's not too much time in the clock, but definitely enough time to need to be aware of that. They're probably not going to call that. Be strong, hold the basketball, don't turn it over. These guys have really thrown the basketball in times when I thought they wouldn't. Like even Kinsey giving it to Thompson was a risky pass, it seemed like. It didn't even seem like a clear cut that he was open. And they could have given the basketball. He barely got it, and then now
100%.
the situation we're in. Oof.
And you got to remember that you have 2 timeouts left if you're Spring Lake Park, so don't be afraid to use those timeouts if you get caught.
Are they going to hear him call for it? That's what's also been the difference is,
Well, I would think if a player went to the ref, but who knows?
Even so, like, if your teammate's calling for it, you got to play until you finally hear that whistle, because again, they're possibly not going to call it just from inability maybe to hear it for how loud it is in this gym. I don't know what happened earlier.
Yeah, it's just amazing what they're allowing them, what they're calling underneath the basket with Maple Grove initiating their wild contact, and then what they're getting away with down here, guarding them in the backcourt.
Working this ball in Jameson Jr. finding a way his senior year as well. He knows a lot on the line. 3-point game. Panthers are up. And Freddie Anthony with the basketball. Crimson really attacking, and now you see that quick foul.
And he's fouled out of the, nope, he's got his 3rd foul. The way he pulled his jersey up, I thought he was fouled out, but O'Giles to the line now with some big free throws. Obviously, free throws can make this a 2-possession game, any of them that he makes.
O'Giles, 8 points on the game. He'll head to the line trying to make it 10 at the end of his trip. Doesn't get the first, and that, again, free throws, you don't want it to be the story of your game, and we'll see if he can make the second one to help the Panthers.
Crowd's coming to life here. And now we got some clown doing who knows what. But that throws O'Giles off, unfortunately.
Well, now giving him a lot of time to think about what he's about to do, and that can sometimes be tough for a shooter. See if he's able to handle this pressure put on him. Doesn't sink it, but they for sure at least don't get the foul. You saw Logan Kinsey being a little bit worried he was going to get called in general, but now allowing him to go to the hole, and they sink it in. Now a 1-point game. This one has gotten way closer than anyone would have expected if you asked us earlier in this game.
Good, because Hawkinson, as you saw him throw himself to the floor in that layup, trying to get the foul, didn't get it because there was no foul. So smart of the Panthers not to foul right there. But it's a 1-point game, and now it's got to be Thompson or Logan Kinsey to handle the basketball. And they have to, what I want to see from the Panthers, Blythe, is hard cuts to the ball. There's not enough urgency, in my opinion. They're kind of being a little casual with tossing it around. I'd like to see hard cuts, good screens, and that's how you get guys open. But guys have to want that basketball.
And I think players don't do it enough to walk that defender away from where they want the pass. Like if you really turn into them, they can't get there as quick as you can when you do turn around to get
right,
open.
And you wall off, they got to go through you to foul. They got to foul to go through you, right?
So if they could do that, make sure they keep this possession. Only 17.5 on the clock. Now the Panthers really going to have to dig deep to try to keep this lead. 1-point game, folks. Now for sure trying to get it in.
Yep, and that is a good call. That's a foul on Hawkinson. He's fouled out. And so Logan Kinsey will walk to the other line, but he was holding him as he tried to go get the ball. That's the other thing a hard basket cut does. When you go to the ball, you force the other team to foul you very often, you know?
Now, again, going to try to earn this one from the free throw line. Logan Kinsey Senior year, a lot on the line.
He's had a very quiet second half, but these free throws would be huge.
Again, he can put himself into the 20-point margin if he does sink both.
He's kind of struggled from the free throw line tonight, but they really need him to hit 2 right here and force the Crimson, who I don't think have hit a 3 in the second half, to hit a 3.
He gets it to go. Calm, cool, collected. The senior makes it happen.
Big free throw right here. Panthers at one point led by 13.
He doesn't get it to go, but he gets his own rebound. Almost more important because time is ticking off this clock. Now heads to the line as he is fouled. And sometimes when you miss the free throw, as long as you can get the rebound, it gets the better thing to do.
Well, and here's the thing, Blythe, is he knew it was short. He knows his own free throw. So he knows it's short, so he can read where to go get the ball. And he sprung and got it. Great anticipation play by Logan Kinsey. Could be the play of the game.
Yeah, especially now this puts him up by 3. Can he make it 4 in that 2-possession game? Because that would be even bigger than if he would have made that last free throw.
No question. And
Bingo! He does just that. Up by 4, the Panthers put them in position, but 11 seconds to go. 3 fired range, but not able to drop. The Crimson can't get it done. Panthers are fouled and will head to the line for yet some more opportunity from the charity stripe.
Thompson, a big rebound underneath. Now he has a chance to ice it right here for the Panthers.
Yeah, you see that senior leadership on this Panther team time and time again. And Logan Kinsey getting it done moments ago. And now Peyton Thompson, another very solid.
Well, and we talked about the fact that, look who's the leading scorers for this team, right? 19 apiece for Thompson and Kinsey coming in. And who's leading them on the scoreboard, right? 21 for Kinsey, now 23 for Thompson. And if he makes this one, 20 in the second half. Remarkable. So calm, just swooshing them,
For the Panthers, they can allow him to go to the hole, and they do. I think Jameson Jr. thought there was going to be contact, but that is how this ends, and the road continues for the Panthers to the semifinals. 74-68, our final score, and the Panthers really had to come out fighting in those final couple minutes to get this one done, Bill.
Yeah, tremendous character and heart shown by the Panthers. They led by as many as 13 with like 6.5 minutes to play, and then they had to hang on. They had to show grit down the stretch. They persevered, and they made their free throws late, and just a great. We talked about that senior leadership, and we talked about, Blythe, the fact that Maple Grove would make a run, and they did, and Spring Lake Park, to its credit, weathered the storm, and they advanced in the section playoffs.
In those last moments, those free throws, we talk about them in a lot of games, just how huge they are, and that really could have been a huge deciding factor of this game. If they would have missed those free throws, what would that have done for these final seconds? And the Panthers, they stayed calm. They got it done here on the Crimson's home court to move on and play yet another game with Grant Gussie.
Yep, they'll advance to the section semifinals next Tuesday. We'll have it for you, hopefully on North Metro TV. It'll either be at Osseo or home against Roseville. We'll see what the results of that game is tonight, but Blythe, what a basketball game we just witnessed.
What a basketball game indeed, and that will do it here from the Maple Grove Crimson home court. Our Panthers getting the victory 74-68 in this quarterfinal playoffs. Blythe Whaley alongside Bill Hupp saying, see you later until more playoff action here on North Metro TV.